In 2015, I co-founded a fintech startup called Alloy with several of my former colleagues. My company has subsequently raised about $160 million of venture capital and is valued at well over $1 billion today. As a cisgendered white woman, I've been in a position of privilege. But as one of the few female founders in my industry, I've also been brought into a variety of conversations and efforts around the tech industry's need to diversify. Over the last couple of years, I've realized that the current construct for how we think about affecting change simply isn't working. As you might imagine, being at the intersection of finance and technology, there isn't a ton of diversity. Women-led startups received only 2.3% of VC funding in 2020. Most of my peers are white men. Most of my investors and board members are white men. When I go to conferences, it's a sea of white men. And all genders complain about it. No one's happy about the status quo. But today, only some are actually doing something to make the change. I want to talk about what it might take to see a change of representation in the technology industry, or really any industry that doesn't represent people in the United States. I'm often in this odd position. Because I'm one of the few women founders who have made it this far, I frequently get asked to spend time on the women in fintech topic. In any given week, I'm asked multiple times to mentor other women founders, talk to junior women in my industry, host events for other women, meet with female VCs, and contribute to conferences and articles, panels, and thought leadership about the lack of women in my industry. Like me, many other women have been dissatisfied with so often being the only woman in the room or on a panel, and are trying to create new avenues and opportunities for each other and for themselves. There are professional groups for female venture capitalists. There are networking groups for women in fintech companies. There are Slack forums for women angel investors to share deals. There are retreats, and so on. There are even funds to invest exclusively in women-led startups. And of course, there are happy hours, pitch events, online networking groups, all trying to create opportunities for women. And I can't even begin to tell you how many hours go into organizing these efforts. Often the work involves getting permission and resources, taking career risks, or even pay cuts, not to mention just the planning and the execution. Some of these are big and some of these are small, but they all involve real work. And when I look around, guess who's organizing and hosting and contributing to these events and forums? Guess who's taking time in their busy schedules away from their real jobs or their families to mentor younger women? It's other women. We've known for a long time about some of the economic and work gaps between genders. As of 2020, women earned 82 cents for every dollar that men did, and that's gotten worse, of course, during the pandemic when women were forced to stay home and be caretakers. There's also the pink tax that women pay on a range of products like razors, where the male equivalents are cheaper. Women spend about 2 hours per day more in unpaid labor in their homes. But in my industry, we've now added a new type of pink tax, a pink tax on making change, where women are the ones doing the once again unpaid work to mitigate some of the damages done by mostly cisgendered white men. Those on the inside of the tech industry largely built the exclusionary and biased industry, and yet from my vantage point, aren't doing the hard work to level the playing field. It's a little like if your house gets burglarized and before you can even dial 911, the cops are calling you asking you to solve the crime. So what do we do? There are tactical things men and the insiders in tech can do. Founders like me can join cap table diversity efforts, ensuring that ownership in tech gets a little bit more diverse. Senior operators can hire women. VCs can invest in women. Men can take it upon themselves to invest their time, networks, and financial resources towards creating opportunities for women in their industries. They can hold each other accountable and call out times when they or their peers could be doing better. Women are tired of being the ones holding everyone accountable for manels, my favorite term for all-male panels. And men can and should measure their efforts. As the saying goes, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. But beyond tactics, there's a deeper shift that this moment demands. We have to ask ourselves what role we play in solving a problem when it doesn't affect us. And maybe more importantly, how do we enable change when it feels like it might not be in our best interests? When and how can we spread out that pink tax burden a little bit more? That means you might have to take a back seat, reframe how you make decisions and judgments, and measure things you didn't think mattered. It means doing the extra work. In my experience, this requires not a spirit of generosity, but rather a self-awareness that centuries of luck and privilege have given you the right of first refusal on most opportunities. If diversifying our industry becomes everyone's problem and everyone's work, we'll make progress a lot faster. Thank you.